could meet so that this item could be out of the way, my friends. So I am here asking, where is the light in this time of darkness in our country, my friends? This government brought foreign people, foreign entities to the region, encouraging them to start war in the region, war. Yeah? Lying to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, telling them that the Dragon deal, the Dragon gas deal that the PNM led by Dr. Rowley was seen about is a curse on this country because the man called Maduro is a drug pusher, a drug trafficker, a terrorist. He's everything that is the scum of the earth. Yeah. Now they went behind our back. They couldn't even tell us, well, we're going to see if we can get the license. Yeah. Now, like they get the license, and nobody want to go by Maduro and ask him for the gas because how we had the license. Look how much days passed. Look how much, almost 2 weeks. Yeah. And up to now, you can't report back to us that we have made contact with the Venezuelan government for the gas because the intention is not to get the gas via that route. It's to remove Maduro, my friends. It's darkness. We're celebrating light over darkness, my friends, but we must be able to identify those who have brought the darkness, my friends, in our land and among the people of Trinidad and Tobago. They are a curse. It's a curse they have brought, my friends. A plague. You know what it is to have listen, my friends, it's 50,000 workers, people who was employed, my friends. They were employed during a recession in 2015 to this present time, and a pandemic together. They were employed. Yeah. The brand and the son, Kamala Prasad is such a nasty human being, my friends. She calling our citizens ghosts, She have advantaged them, they and their family, and then calling them ghosts, like if they doesn't exist, Humans, my friend, people, our citizens that we see working day and night, early in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, then people on the road, cutting grass, and while you now looking to go to work, then cutting grass and clean up the place and our environment, my friends. And she called it 8,000 ghosts, yeah? And listen, not one report has been made to the police, my friends. Not one. Yeah. But my friends, it is not just political victimization, It is not just political victimization, my friends. I would have seen, I didn't believe what I was seeing, my friends. I saw a thing came on my phone showing the corporations and the monies that was allocated to these corporations, my friend. When the PNM was in office, and now that the UNC in office, so that a person could look and compare, my friends. My friends, no normal or right-thinking person, when they look at that, the only conclusion that you could come to is not just political victimization, my friends. It is also racial discrimination, my friends. Racial discrimination. Yeah? You could get more darkness than that? Eh? Tell me. That is what it is, my friends. You just go and look. I'm speaking to I have some partners with UNC and they don't care. Wherever they do the right, But I want them to go and check, my friends. Besides dismissing over 50,000 persons from the jobs that had them seen, give them that level of independence and make you know, you know what? I am a contributor. I am contributing in a positive way to the development in some way of our country, my friends. These persons, my friends, the governments, many governments, including the UNC, over the years, when they come in office, they all recognize that in our society, as in all society, there's the vulnerable that must be cared for and taken care of. And they have this program in place because so that they would not be a burden on the state, my friends. Yeah. They have dismissed them. Yeah. No pandemic, no recession. Yeah. And now the promise of the monies that are supposed to be paid to the public servants, 2 budgets was read, my friends, and not one at any time in any of these 2 budgets, the monies to pay the public servants who they would have lied to, telling them big money, big back pay coming, consolidation of cola, my friends. All of a sudden, nobody could tell you, look, we have the money here, and go and negotiate and see what I could come up with, starting from 10. Lies, my friends. Lies, my friends. Let me tell you something. Lies is one of the qualities of darkness, my friends. Lies. Kamla Prasad Bisesa and her government is the embodiment of darkness on our land, my friends. That is what they are. They should be ashamed. They should be ashamed to play or try to as though they're celebrating Diwali. They don't even understand what Diwali is, my friends. Diwali represents, you see the light? It represents love and care and brightness and goodness. That is what it represents. Not discrimination and hate and wickedness, my friends. Not that. It does not represent it. In fact, Kamla Prasad Bisesa and led UNC, they are the total opposite, my friends, of what Diwali means. The total opposite. Light over darkness. I tell you, they should be ashamed to go in the Diwali Nagar, yeah? And then some dunce one, we don't know if it's a man or a woman, telling the people and them that they must have tassa to beat when them coming in. What kind of totish talk is that? You can imagine that? Yeah, he want to fire them too, because them they don't know tassa and to welcome them. And we come in here and you understand what I'm talking about? These are the people, my friends, who have dismissed 11 to 12,000 CPAP workers, about 6,000 URP workers, and about 4 to 5,000 reforestation workers. All the programs, including the CCC program, my friends, the Civilian Conservation Corps, the workers going home, the young people on the streets, and many other programs like that. Besides that, all the contract workers and all the ministries and state boards and state entities, my friends, have been dismissed because, not because of incompetence, you know, because they are viewed. And since you were hired under the PNM government, you are in fact viewed as a PNM. And well, if you're black, it's worse. You have to wonder who he is. And that is what is happening. That is what is happening in this country, my friends. You can't get more darkness than that. You cannot get more darkness than that, my friends. And that, they are the exact opposite, my friends, of what the essence of the Diwali is all about, my friends. Yeah. Yeah. At this very moment, the US Embassy would have sent out a thing warning the citizens in our country to stay far away from wherever building and wherever. Where's our Prime Minister to address us as to how serious that is, what we have to do? Like she are not going into hiding. Because I was looking out for the Prime Minister to address the budget, to tell me when we get the 10%, when with the money, and she was absent, my friends. Absent. Yeah. Absent from the debate. The budget, my friends, absent. No contribution at all. And here it is. Our country at this very moment appears to be in the middle of what seems to be some war going on break out. Yeah? That she was part of and was calling for, my friends. Where she said that we're going to stand alone, yeah, just to get her hands on the oil and gas of Venezuela, because she knows that there's no other way she could get, after saying all the nasty things about Maduro and his government, my friend, and the people, government of Venezuela. Yeah. She knows that. They all knows that. Yeah. They know how important it is for Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. And they went about calling for sanctions for the Americans to take away the license, my friends. Yeah. So it wasn't about Trinidad and Tobago, my friend. It's not about Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. So they're nasty people, my friends. Yeah. Their attitude and their way of life. Listen, my friends. Persons would have asked me. They said, Preston, well, they said, people meet me, they said, Preston, listen, we like the presentation that the opposition leader, how she dealt with her budget response, and they were quite satisfied with it, except they thought that one of the things that they want to know is if at all, in fact, the area of the 100% rise in alcohol, now it have other things affecting them, you know. But what that does, it had certain things. Even the rich and the poor used to enjoy in this country. The rich and the poor. No matter how hard things is, the poor could drink some rum, the rich could drink. Now, my friends, in this country is only the rich could drink alcohol. And the people have a problem with that. So they wanted to know if the opposition leader, if she has a solution or suggested any solution, or if at all they come back in office, they will revisit that matter. Because that interfering with the people of Trinidad and Tobago, my friends. That, you see that rum drinking and liming and socializing and getting together? Whether it's football, cricket, alcohol is part of what Trinidad and Tobago is. Alcohol, we are the biggest carnival in the world. There's no carnival like ours. Carnival is whining, rum, drinking, liming, and that is what they interfere with, my friends. That is what they interfere with. Yeah, so the people are, as much as they're saying that they are quite happy with the way how she would have dealt with her response and as the leader of the opposition, they want to hear what she intends to do, if she would be reversing some of these wicked, oppressive things that this wicked, evil government has imposed on the people of Trinidad and Tobago, my friends. That is what the people want to know. They're really looking forward to hearing that. Right, so that is one of the discussions I would have come across. But my friends, let me tell you something. Let me just clear this up. My friends, I have some friends, some UNC partners, they asking if I am being paid, because there was a thing where somebody was one of these persons who does use the Facebook and talk, like they say that she was getting paid. So they want to know now, Preston, you're getting paid? I just want to let people know, my friends, what I am doing here, God has blessed me with the ability to talk and to share information, and I have just recently I got to learn to use the phone and this kind of thing, and I think I am doing my civic duty as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, speaking out where I observe wickedness and evil taking place. And nobody has ever approached me, or I've never spoken to anybody in government or opposition anywhere. Right, and you know, the men who is saying that, and I see it all over Facebook or wherever, is men who know me, you know. They know the kind of person I am. I'll share a thing with you about myself, my friends. I was once the chairman of the PSS section at St. Anne's Hospital. And I was very much against the way how the Northwest Regional Authority and the RHAs were treating not just the nursing personnel, but the workers under the RHAs, my friend. Real evil and wicked. And I would have spoken out against them. And being the chairman of the PSS section, at the time, a man named Watson Duke was the president. And he came to St. Anne's Hospital on 3 occasions. On 3 occasions, my friends, to look at situation that we need to treat with and whatever. But in coming on those 3 occasions, he took the opportunity to invite me to join with him in whatever team that he was putting together to fight whatever elections and whatever. And on those 2 occasions, my friend, I told him no. Because my position and how I view life and what I stand for is totally opposite what I saw from Watson Duke. He asked me, say, Preston, do you have anybody around here that you could recommend? Seeing that you right, I can't get you to join with me. Do you have anybody? I said yes. And I recommended the secretary at the time of the section, a lady called Miss Cindy Ryan. I said, well, that is a nice lady, bright and everything. You could ask her. And he did engage her right there. And he told her what the salary would be and what the perks would be if she come and join, you know, if she leaves St. Anne's and come down head office and that kind of thing. And it was good. Nice package, much improved from her salary as a nurse and that kind of thing. And then, just before the final thing, you know what she asked him? She said, yeah, no, Preston coming too? And he said, no, Preston decided that he wouldn't be part of it and whatever. She said, well, if Preston not coming, I'm not coming. So my friend, I have had offers where people try to, you know, yeah. So the people, as I said, the people who say these things, they know I would not even, they are my friends, you know. So my friends, let me tell you something. I would like to know, because in Thursday's newspapers, there's a person writing an article, reporting to us, and he's asking the Minister of Finance what it is he mean, page 3 of Thursday's Guardian, what it is he mean or meant when he said that we're going to negotiate and then we will go and look for the money in First Citizens Republic Bank, and the man wanted to know what it is he was talking about because it was confusing. So as a public servant, it is only fair that Felicia Thomas, who is the president of the PSA, who was campaigning with the lies, my friends, with the lies. Now the time come to deliver. Come and tell the public servants why the monies have not been allocated in 2 budgets, one in June and this present budget, to pay the back pay and to maintain the 10% on the public servant salary. Public servants are richer workers, my friends. And let me tell you something, and that is what lies is about. Lies is darkness, my friends. Lies. Nobody would lose. Lies. That is the embodiment, my friend. That is the campaign of Kamla Prasad Bisesa and the UNC, including Felicia Thomas, my friends. When the UNC win, everybody wins, my friend. What about those persons, the most vulnerable among us and their families, my friends? Christmas is coming. Christmas is coming, my friends. You'll be down, the place getting dark here already. Quick. Christmas is coming. Wait, you who work in car buy alcohol. So what happened to those persons who their jobs have been taken away from, my friends? Yeah. And I was looking forward to the finance minister addressing the missing 600 million US that was discovered, that was placed on the website of the Treasury, my friends. That is in the newspapers, that is in the budget debate. Where is that money? Who gone with that money, my friends? 600 million US in 5 months. What is this country bought? If it's the country that we could look around and say yes, or the bill. How in 5 months, my friends? Our foreign reserve, out of that, in fact, right now they said it is about 4.6 billion US we have as foreign reserve, which is way below for they say decades. Our foreign reserve have not reached that low, my friends. And all we had is just 5 months of these incompetent dunce people in charge, my friends. And not just dunce, wicked. Wicked, my friends, wicked. Yeah, real evil. Yeah, evil. And it's not just political victimization, you know. Yeah, it's not just political victimization, my friends. Because if you want confirmation, just look at the figures. Now I'm going to bring and I'm going to show you it, and next time, but it's going to be soon, where the difference when the PNM was in office, because the document have the figures, where all the corporations, including the UNC corporations, the figures, my friends, was very, very, very close. In fact, similar. In some instances, it looked like in 1 or 2, it may have even more than some of the PNM. Yeah. Well, my friends, when you look at it now, there's no other way, because they find that the amount of persons in this program that they fire is not enough. So you see the corporation that the PNM in their environment and in their place there, that they're in charge of, we must damage them too. So the families of those who still have a job and those who must also be affected, my friends. What kind of evil people? Yeah, evil, my friends. And that is what darkness is. That is not light. So the Kamla-led government, my friends, is the embodiment of darkness at this present time in this country. Darkness. Yeah. Lies. Yeah. That is what they are. So my friends, I just came to share that with you, and I would be with you again shortly. And thanks for allowing me to speak with you in such a short space of time, this time of the evening. Thank you and keep good.